Thank you all so much for tuning in to New Opera West's first virtual premiere of Nicholas Bentz and Robert Feng's micro trash opera, Having Guests for Dinner. For those of you who are new to us, we are an LA-based company that is dedicated to the creation and promotion of new operatic works that explore timely and relevant themes in an innovative manner, especially in a time like now. What exactly is a trash micro opera?
I think that's a really interesting question, how Robert and I sort of conceptualize this as sort of a trash opera, because I feel like that's like a big thing about trash aesthetic is this notion of like over-expressivity. It's so exaggerated that it's like beyond what would normally be perceived.
What was the process like in working together?
We talk about the plot, we edit, we say what works, what might work better, what doesn't work. So it is a big team effort.
How did you guys start your collaboration?
Well, Robert and I went to undergrad together actually at Peabody. So that's how we initially knew each other. And we've collaborated on a few projects in the past.
Robert, you're a singer.
Yes.
How does that help you in writing a libretto?
I think when writing a libretto, as a singer, I think about what's going to work best when you're actually singing in terms of line delivery, what's going to come off as funny or dramatic.
Did you find that, Nick, when you were responding to Robert's libretto? Did Robert give you a complete libretto, or did you work in parts of it? How did that work?
If I remember correctly, I think Robert gave me the whole thing. We sort of workshopped the plot together, but Robert came up with the initial idea of this sort of dinner party that's run by a cannibal, and it was just such an interesting idea. It was great to sort of respond to Robert's words because he really creates like that environment really, really well. I had such a great flow, especially once I started at the beginning of the opera. I had a great flow because there was just like a really great eye for like what the characters are thinking and what they're going through that's in the libretto.
This was originally planned to be a live performance, and because of everything now we've made it a virtual performance. Maybe Mark, you can answer this question as the editor and the producer of the work. How do you think this format aids or plays in any differently, producing the opera this way rather than a live in-person performance?
Well, having lived with it for a while, it's hard for me to imagine it in any other medium now.
Yeah.
I think it would work really well on stage, but there's something that's kind of intimate about a virtual performance that you can't really achieve when you're sitting 25 feet away. Were there any influences that you were drawing on?
Oh yes. I'd say my two main influences to this would be It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Hannibal, the TV show.
Musically, this was a complete shot out of left field, but I do know that I was listening to a bunch of Falstaff very oddly. For some reason, I sort of viewed like Falstaff and Christoph as like similar characters in some bizarre way. Definitely a lot of like Kurt Weill as well. Any sort of satirical music that I could sort of dig into, music that's sort of speaking out of the side of its mouth.
Thank you guys for doing this.
Really an honor to work with you both and sort of to be a part of this really cool project, especially with the virtual aspect of it. It's like a new adaptation to the art form, which I feel like is necessary, and I think it will give it some staying power.
Without further ado, here is Having Guests for Dinner by Nicholas Bentz and Robert Feng. We hope you enjoy it.
Of scones from work, I think.
Good enough. Christoph.
It's a nice place. What do you think, Laura?
You should lock the door.
Right.
Marcus, could you see if Scott's already here?
Sure. Sorry, no reception.
What?
Welcome! Welcome! You must be Marcus and Laura. Come in. Please do I've been anxiously wanting to have you both over for dinner.
Where's Scott and Andrew? I don't see them here.
They sadly didn't make it. An illness, it seems, has ravaged their office.
Both sick?
Yes. High fever, it seems. Chills. Malaise.
I'll just send them pictures of all the food then. What's your Wi-Fi?
No Wi-Fi here. Social media tends to isolate us.
Perhaps. But the internet, like any tool, can be used to express ideas and touch the lives of countless others. Unplugging yourself can be a virtue, yes, but only by building connections outside.
Oh, I see you've got plenty of gray matter to pass around. Now, please, don't be shy. Make yourselves comfortable while I grab the appetizer.
Appetizers? I didn't realize Scott was friends with the chef.
Strange that he never mentioned Christoph to you. Where did you say you knew him from again?
I can't say I remember.
I present to you the hors d'oeuvre, beef tartare, accompanied by shaved black truffles and a side of onion tarts.
Excuse my manners, but is this safe to eat? Isn't it raw?
They're perfectly safe to eat. It was butchered this afternoon, so the meat is fresh.
I'll admit I've never tried raw beef before, but it smells heavenly, Christoph.
You have my deepest gratitude. Now I believe it is time we say grace. Bless this food. Body of Christ, slaughtered to give us life. Fill us with your sacrifice.
I can honestly say I've never heard that one before.
The grace has been said, so please dig in. Bon appetit.
Delicious, absolutely delicious. It's tender and rich, but not overwhelming. Laura, you've got to try this.
In a bit.
You're too kind, Marcus.
So how do you know Scott? The office.
We met while he was traveling abroad in Norway. He was still in university, I believe.
And what exactly is it that you do?
I study people. I've dedicated myself to the study of the few indigenous people still left on this earth who have never experienced contact with the outside world. Imagine that. No smartphones, no cinemas, nothing of people consumed by skincare products mutilated by plastic surgery. I find it all rather tasteless.
Now, Christoph, did you ever try to meet one of these tribes?
Sadly, no. No, it's a dream of mine.
Well, I just have to ask, with your incredible skill, why didn't you ever become a chef?
Oh, cooking is just a hobby. It's people that complete me.
It's a damn good hobby. Do you think you could show me one of your recipes?
Certainly. Curious guests always make the best food.
Did you ever teach skirt any?
Just one, a fine stew he made. Which reminds me, I'll be back in a few minutes with the main course. Please do excuse me.
Are you thinking the same thing as me, Marcus?
Yeah, the beef tartare has an odd taste. It's paprika.
Seriously? Nothing about this seems off to you.
What?
Scott and Andrew couldn't make it. I'm meeting at a stranger's house. And to the heavens is like that.
Oh my god! He's a Mormon, isn't he?
What? No, be quiet. Don't you think something's off? Just a little bit. The isolation, no cell phone reception. It's just a little too convenient, don't you think?
What are you getting at?
What if Scott and Andrew arrived here before us? What if they were here all alone in the kitchen on our plates?
Laura, we've never met the man before.
Exactly
honey, I think you've got the wrong idea. Christoph is a little strange, yes, but I'm sure he means well.
Marcus, we've known this man for 10 minutes.
Everything okay in there?
I know how this looks, but trust me when I say, Christoph is not who he seems. Here,
What the hell are you doing?
I'm finding some evidence. That's what. A bloody knife, a severed head.
You out of your mind?
Marcus, I don't know how to tell you this, but I think Christoph is incredible. As in, he is killing people, chopping them up into little pieces and serving them
That's it. If you keep doing this, I'll call the police.
Oh, and how you gonna do that with no reception?
Laura,
Is that
please, Laura.
people without anyone present.
Laura, please.
Hear us.
Oh, because you're being such a wonderful house guest right now. Now, Christoph could have walked right back in and...
And what's all this?
Well, Christoph, you see, we were...
We were trying to catch a rat that we saw under the table.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. It went under the table, so here we all were.
Well, thank you for telling me. I've been dealing with quite the rat infestation.
Really?
No! Do I look like an imbecile to you? Scott never mentioned he had such greedy cockroaches for friends. The dinner party is over.
Oh my God.
Now get out and put ribbons. Get out, I said, get out.
Damn. He really let you have it.
Let's just get out of here. I don't want to talk about it. God, I really made an ass of myself back there.
What were you thinking, Laura? Really? Christoph's never going to talk to us again. What will we tell Scott? Ow!
What is it?
Nothing. I just beat into something hard. Just a tooth.
Hi, my name is Mark Weiser. I'm the Artistic Director of New Opera West. I want to thank you for watching tonight's virtual premiere of Having Guests for Dinner. Tonight's premiere is one of the ways that we're keeping the performance of New Opera alive despite the COVID-19 crisis, and we have other exciting projects in the works. You know, with theaters closing and seasons being canceled, artists are really struggling right now. We've always made it a priority to support our artists financially, and we hope that you would consider making a contribution. You can make a contribution to newoperawest.org, or you can click the link below. Thanks.